This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you so know it, and so do I. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today is Thursday, July the 17th of 2025, day 198th of the year, and only 167 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
We are radio. We are sarcasm. We are both combined. Radio Big.
Oh, yes, a little bit of radio, a little bit of sarcasm, a little bit of everything is the way that it sounds when we start talking about some stuff, no doubt about that. So how have you been? How's the last 24 hours, per se, gone for you? As you can see, there is some sounds. This morning, because I don't know what the hell that cluster thing was yesterday. But if you did hang out an hour 2 and 3, we did have survival mode. It just took a few minutes to get everything going. But I did enjoy the failure in real time to some extent. Not gonna lie, because sometimes when you have some things going and it does not work out, it's good for other people to see it. It really is. Even though we have this fictional reality of everything being perfect all the time, it's not a true thing. So that's why when everything kind of went awry yesterday, in a strange kind of way, I was a little bit excited about it. Because I was like, look at this. It did not work out in the perfect method that everybody expected. So there you go. Anyway, so that's it right there. Anyways, if you're new here to what the hell is going on with our show consists of safety in the news and safety. We talk a little bit about this, we talk a little bit about that, and we bring you everything that's coming our general direction to give to you that's related to news and safety stuff. So there you go. So with that being said, why don't we start talking right away about what the hell was trending in the overnight, because people are going to want to know about that.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as we talk about the trends of the ends, notable noteworthy, one more Fry sale. We'll talk about that. Also, arrest made an American Idol exec in murder. And Emma Watson is ordered to stay off the road. We'll talk about that as in showbiz. Also, Cooper Koch celebrates his Emmy nomination with a prison phone call from Lyle Melendez. We'll talk about that in casting calls. And also, a royal experience opens up to the peasants. So there you go. Details about that in the Royales. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of that multiverse. No doubt about that. So with that being said, if you want to interact with our show, let's kind of give you the format on how that works. You go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. Video, audio, and text messaging. Video, audio, and text messaging are the options inside of there. So if you want to interact, simple process. We get everything moving and grooving for you. So it's really easy to do. And then we can interact. It gives me a little prompt on my screen. I get to take a look at what's going on. We kind of reformat as we go. I mean, that's how we learn some stuff of what's going on. You know, that's how we get the drops. We understand on what's working, not working. You know, that fun stuff. Anyways, with that being said, I have friends from Feature Story News ready to go, wanting to talk. So why don't we go ahead and get into the news right now?
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Syrian officials and Druze leaders have announced a ceasefire after days of violent clashes. Israel carried out airstrikes on the capital Damascus on Wednesday, including targeting Syria's military headquarters. Syria's interim president says it's his priority to protect the country's Druze citizens, but insists Syrians are not afraid of war. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the situation is complicated.
A misunderstanding, it looks like, between the Israeli side and the Syrian side. So we've been engaged with them all morning long and all night long with both sides. And we think we're on our way towards a real de-escalation.
A fire in a shopping centre in Iraq has killed at least 55 people. The mall in Kut had reportedly only opened 5 days ago, and rescuers have been searching for victims who are still missing. Reports suggest Air India has found no issues with the locking mechanism of the fuel control switches on Boeing 787 planes. It comes after India's aviation regulator ordered domestic airlines to inspect the switches. All but one passenger on board a London-bound flight died in the recent Air India crash, one of the worst aviation disasters globally in decades. Neha Punia reports from New Delhi.
Reports are quoting an internal message sent out by an unnamed official to Air India pilots. The message says that Air India's engineering team initiated precautionary inspections on the locking mechanism of fuel control switches, and this was carried out on all Boeing 787 aircraft, but no issues were found. A preliminary probe into last month's crash, where a London-bound Air India plane crashed seconds after takeoff in the Indian city of Ahmedabad, had put focus on the fuel switches. It said the fuel supply to both engines of the plane was cut off within a gap of 1 second, leading to immediate loss of altitude. One pilot can be heard in the cockpit voice recorder asking why the fuel switches were moved, but the second pilot says he didn't move them. Neha Punia, New Delhi.
A pioneering IVF technique using the DNA of 3 people has led to the births of 8 healthy babies in the UK. The method's aimed at preventing mitochondrial disease being passed down, which can be fatal. 4 boys and 4 girls have been born through the technique pioneered by UK scientists. Professor Sir Doug Turnbull's from the team at Newcastle University who developed it.
The child has the nuclear genetic material from both parents, with all the characteristics, but the healthy mitochondria of a donor woman. So, effectively, you've removed the harmful mitochondria. We've been working on this for the best part of 25 years to get to this stage. We were confident it was work, but we didn't know it would work. And of course, this was a decision that we had to discuss with the potential parents.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be meeting leaders of the Maldives and Nepal in the next few days amid concerns over China's growing influence in the region. Prime Minister Modi is expected to travel to the Maldives for Independence Day celebrations next week, while Nepal's Prime Minister will arrive in New Delhi for talks. Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
During his visit to the Maldives, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to promote India's digital payments infrastructure use with the island nation. Talks with the Maldives President Mohammad Moizu will also focus on boosting tourism. Modi's talks with Nepal's KP Sharma Oli in New Delhi are expected to focus on boosting trade and Delhi's investments in Kathmandu. The official engagements from the Himalayas to the Indian Ocean come as experts have been raising concerns over India's neighbourhood increasingly cozying up to Beijing. So efforts are now on to woo Maldives and Nepal. Both are crucial strategic partners for New Delhi and a core part of Modi's neighbourhood-first foreign policy. Eshan Garg, New Delhi.
Nvidia is set to resume shipments of its key AI chip to China after an apparent thaw in US-China trade tensions led to a reversal of export restrictions. It marks a major win for the chipmaker, which has been pushing to regain access to the world's second-largest market. Ira Spitzer reports.
During his visit to the Maldives, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to promote India's digital payments infrastructure used with the island nation. Talks with the Maldives President Mohammad Moizu will also focus on boosting tourism. Modi's talks with Nepal's KP Sharma Oli in New Delhi are expected to focus on boosting trade and Delhi's investments in Kathmandu. The official engagements from the Himalayas to the Indian Ocean come as experts have been raising concerns over India's neighbourhood increasingly cozying up to Beijing. So efforts are now on to woo Maldives and Nepal. Both are crucial strategic partners for New Delhi and a core part of Modi's neighbourhood-first foreign policy. Eshan Garg, New Delhi.
That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy. Now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion. The book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission. The final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
So do you feel like you're missing out on what everyone is starting to do now, that live streaming thing, and you don't know where to start or what to do? I have the resource and the information to provide to you in regards on how you can stream onto 40 social media platforms all at one time. Yes, that's 40 social media platforms all at one time. All you'll need to do is go to safetyfm.com/1. That's safetyfm.com/1. That's ONE. So just in case, and you'll be able to start live streaming just like you're hearing people starting to do right now, up to 40 social media platforms.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home, and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Oh, yes, the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM and Radio Big, as we are hanging out doing our thing, no doubt about that. 17 minutes past the top of the hour as we are coming to you from the Safety FM studios. So let's go through it, because I think it's time to do so, and let's start going through everything that is going on inside of the world of the multiverse. Just hours after selling the Fire Festival brand on eBay, Billy McFarland also auctioned off his handwritten memoir for a relatively astonishing $25,000. Someone said they paid the sum to receive a bundle of notebook that Billy says that he filled up with serving 309 days in solitary confinement, along with 800 some odd handwritten pages. The winner of the exclusive rights to utilize the memoir for publishing and other exploration, according to the listing. McFarland promises his story delivers ideas and visions that could only come from the most infamous entrepreneur of the decade. The winner also gets a dinner with the convicted fraudster. Meanwhile, while we don't know who bought the rights for the Fire platform, we have an idea of what's next for McFarland. In a statement following the disappointing eBay auction, he wrote as part, "The auction became the most watched non-charity listing on eBay during its run, proving once again that attention is currency and views are the root of attention, and that belief is the core of what I'm building next. A tech platform designed to capture and power the value behind every view online. It's coming soon." Worth noting, a tech platform designed to capture and power the value behind every view online sounds like the decades-old internet display advertising technology, but who knows? Seriously. I mean, I understand always wanting to kind of move and do some other things, but I have to say, man, what exactly in the hell is going on with some of this stuff? It sounds like a little bit crazy on your timeline. in regards to that. It's like, wow. I just don't get it. It's like, you did this, you said that you were doing a fire festival too, then it all fell through. Supposedly you had some contracts. At some point, it's probably a good time to stop in regards of everything that's going on. I'm just saying.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so beachside properties destroyed by wildfires in January that mostly remain covered in rubble might never be rebuilt into luxury homes after California State Senate passed a bill allowing Los Angeles County to buy the properties to build low-income housing project. The proposed law allocate property taxes to select construction companies as long as 40% of the funds went to building affordable housing facilities. The development following the announcement last week that California state government will dole out $101 million around Los Angeles County to jumpstart the rebuilding process. This is according to Just News. I'm just saying, I don't understand. This world of ours continues to get stranger and stranger and stranger. Affordable housing is not the strange part. The strange part is, okay, what happened to the property and what happened to the people that had the housing? I mean, like, explain some of that to me. And understand that when I talk, most of the time, I come to the realization I am an idiot. I'm okay with it. But I have to understand what exactly is happening. Because it's a strange time when you start sitting back for a moment and you go through the whole thing and you say, okay, this happened here, this happened there. Now the properties are destroyed. They've been destroyed for a while. Nothing's been done with it. So they're being sold. So are they not getting the total cost of what the value was before it burned up? What happened with the insurance companies? Because that's going to be the other standpoint of everything going on, opposed to it just being one of those lackadaisical things of us talking about some other stuff. It's just a strange time when it comes to certain things. Anyways, the Superior Court judge in Seattle has ordered the closure of the beach at Denny Blaine Park because of the nudists won't stop having sex in public. Yes, I did say that out loud. While the beach isn't officially designated as a clothing optional by Seattle's Recreation Management Department, it become a de facto destination for people wanting to bear it all in the Pacific Ocean. Locals have let that slide, but lately they've had enough of the Daily Mail describes aggressive sexual behavior. They organized one group, the Denny Blaine Park for All, to file a lawsuit that would get the government to crack down on the behavior. One exhibit in the suit includes the videos of some naked beachgoers engaging in, solo sexual pursuit. That was enough for the judge to order such behavior as public nuisance, entered into an injunction closing the beach while the city figures out how to handle the situation. Really, the choice of words here was how to handle the situation. I think that was probably some poor choice of words in regards of how to figure some of that stuff out. I'm just saying, some things to think about as we are going through the whole thing. So there you go. Some stuff to give some consideration to and all that fun stuff. I mean, what a crazy time where you kind of think that, nudity is the way to go. I mean, and listen, if you go to a nude beach and that's your gig, that's all you. But there's some other stuff that you probably should consider doing in regards of some other stuff. If you're on the screen or on the video, I'll probably shouldn't do this, but I'll do this anyways. In regards to this, this is people hanging out over there. As you can see, not everybody's fully clothed. I mean, it's not showing anything, but you can tell that there are some beachgoers there that are enjoying the nude scenes, if you may, in regards of what's going on. So there you go. Good for them. Okay, take a listen to this. Delta Airlines is planning to expand its use of artificial intelligence powered by dynamic pricing by the end of the year. A few months ago, a company started using AI to set prices on just about 1% of the fares. The system algorithm took into account multiple factors to display the price to customers that would make him most likely to buy. In recent weeks, they've expanded the system to about 3% of fares. By year's end, they say that 20% of fares will be set in the same manner. While it's likely that other airlines will also be experimenting with the technology, Delta is the first to publicly announce the practice. So let me tell you this, because I've been kind of looking at this over the last few days. People are now using ChatGPT, because I'll go brand specific with this one, in regards to when they're buying their tickets. And they say exactly what they're looking for, and for ChatGPT to go find the pricing structure on what they're trying to accomplish flight-wise to get the lowest price. And it just becomes like another, if anything, and I'm not picking on the AIs of the world or anything like that, but you're essentially going to be starting to do so many things behind AI in regard to trying to get some of this stuff to work, because the world's changing more and more as we think about it. Yesterday, on top of looking at some of this stuff, I was looking at a McDonald's, and believe me, I am not a fast food person, specifically McDonald's, but nothing, I mean, if you want that stuff, then good for you. In Fort Worth, Texas, that is all automated. There is not a human just in case, that you interact with. Everything's robotic. And I was taking a look at the oldest McDonald's in the world and the futuristic McDonald's in Fort Worth, and about how the quality of the food was exactly the same, even if a human was making it at the oldest McDonald's, with the futuristic McDonald's actually making it in Fort Worth that was all robots. So, and of course, the whole thing was AI powered, is what they kept on referencing inside of the video. So it becomes interesting on how this is going to work, because what is going to be the process of elimination as you move forward? What will be the process of elimination of things that are happening? That's going to be some of the questions that we're going to run into. So we'll talk about that as we move forward. No doubt about that.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's see. Follow up: the chunk of Mars, believed to be the largest on Earth, sold for more than $5.3 million at auction. It was expected to go between $2 to $4 million, but the 54-pound space rock was discovered in the Sahara Desert by a meteorite hunter in November of 2023. This is according to Sudbury. The buyer's identity is unknown. I wonder if he owns multiple technology companies, including a car company. Anyways, there you go. Also, Pete Davidson is expecting his first child with girlfriend actress Elsie Hewitt. He's 31, she's 29. Well, now everyone knows we had sex, she captioned in a post announcing of the news. So there you go. What else do we got? Let's see. Should we talk about the swamp? Let's talk about the swamp, because that's what we do around here. Iran's Ayatollah took to a victory lap in a post on X yesterday, writing the Iran nation's accomplishment of a great feat in the recent war imposed by Zionists. The feat was a matter of determination. The very fact that the nation is ready to confront the power of the U.S., the Zionist regime, carries immensely significant value. The statement follows intelligent reports of a nuclear sites destroyed and a bombing raids last month are so completely obliterated that Iran isn't even trying to dig them out. So there you go. In some other news, Speaker Mike Johnson says that Elon Musk change his phone number and stop responding to texts and calls following Musk June's falling out with President Trump. Johnson said that he'd like to meet with Musk and mend some fences to talk about the long-term strategy Johnson is working on with Trump to fix the debt crisis. So we'll see what happens there. Something tells me things are not going to go well anytime soon. But that's just an opinion piece, of course, as we are talking. Let's talk about some numbers real quick. The Dow increased by 231 points to close at 44,254 on Wednesday. The S&P increased by 19 points to close at 6,263. And the NASDAQ gained 52 points to close at 20,730. West Texas Intermediate closed at $66 a barrel, and the Brent crude was at $68 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.16 on Wednesday, and Bitcoin ticked up 1.5% on Wednesday, up around $119,500. Friday night's Mega Million drawing will be for a $100 million jackpot or a $44.3 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, you have the opportunity to do so. Also, in some other news, a 22-year-old junkie named Raymond Bundarian has been arrested in suspicion of murdering American Idol music supervisor Robin Kay and her husband Thomas DeLuca. Investigators say that the couple returned to their Encino home and surprised Bundarian during a burglary, who then shot them. So there you go, 22-year-old. That's awfully young to be doing that. But anyways, some other news. Actress Emma Watson has not been banned from driving in England after she was caught speeding last year. She has been banned. Has been banned. On Wednesday, a judge ruled for her to stay off the roads for 6 months and pay a fine of around $1,000. As for now, how fast Watson was going, according to the court docs, she was caught going 38 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Odd coincidence, her Harry Potter co-star Zoe Wanamaker, who played Madame Hooch in the film, was also fined for speeding on Wednesday. She was previously been caught going 46 miles per hour in a 40 zone last August. Wanamaker is also banned from driving for 6 months for going 6 miles over, respectively. And let's see, what was the other one? Let's go back to 8 miles over. Okay. Hey, different strokes for different folks, no doubt there. It makes it interesting. I am not going to lie here. So there you go. Okay, take a listen to this. Maybe you heard about the scuffle up that happened last year, but Jane's Addiction rocker Dave Navarro and Eric Avery and Stephen Perkins are suing bandmate Perry Farrell for assault and battery. It all stems from an onstage incident that took place last September, during which lead guitar and Navarro got into each other's faces throwing punches. Okay, hold on. Let's get that straight. Lead singer and Navarro. So there you go, throwing punches. The band members claimed that Farrell actions led to the cancellation of 15 shows and the decision to postpone their album, resulting in significant financial loss. Navarro, Avery, and Perkins are seeking $10 million in damages. In response, Farrell's legal team said that the suit is a clear example of the group uniting to isolate and bullying the frontman. This is according to DMZ. How are you bullying the frontman if the frontman tried to punch Navarro in the face? I'm just asking. That's kind of a weird thing, but hey, what the hell do I know? Let me give you one more real quick. Black Sabbath's final concert raised about $190 million for charity, making it the highest earning charity concert ever. The funds were distributed evenly to Birmingham Children's Hospital, Acorn Children's Hospice, and Cure for Parkinson's. The event was Ozzy's final performance. So there you go. Anyways, with that being said, 32 minutes past the top of the hour. So let's go ahead and get into our main story.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Yes, main story time, as we are hanging out and talking about some of the world of the multiverse and some of the things that are going on inside of the world. Now, I have to tell you, my life becomes more and more interesting the more I get to interact with people and do stuff. And it's not like I'm letting pass behind the curtain today, but I do want to have a conversation with you on how new mindset and old mindset sometimes have the worlds collide together in regards of things that happen. So I have had the opportunity to interact with several companies in talking about stuff related to human and organizational performance. And believe me, I am extremely grateful that I've had these opportunities to do so. And it's always mind-boggling in regards of seeing companies as they are transitioning from how they looked at one form of safety to going into another form of safety. Sometimes I like to talk to people and say, listen, it is a kind of like a bolt-on in regards of what you're doing. It's not getting rid of everything that you've done before. It's really understanding what is supposed to move on. And as of recent, I've had the lovely opportunity to interact with a company, and they are going down the journey of human and organizational performance. It's quite interesting to see some of the stuff that's going on. But they still have these damn metrics in place on how they're trying to make sure that things are done in a certain timeline. And I will tell you, there are part of the organizations that hasn't even heard about human and organizational performance yet. But the company is so fixated on trying to do this process so quickly that they're like, I want you to know that we are in the process of starting to get learning teams inside of our system, and we need to have them implemented all across the board before Q4. Before Q4, we need to have them implemented all across the board. Now, this company has several thousand people inside of it. They have not went through the process of understanding how human performance works yet. Human organizational performance, that is. And it's interesting to hear this. It's interesting to see on how now there's this speed factor in regards on how quick it has to do. And understanding the process and putting in the process entirely in different stuff. And it's because we still fall back into those old metric systems that a bonus structure is tied into how we do stuff. A bonus structure is playing a factor into how quick we want to commit to something. And it's that old method that gets us in trouble most of the time on what we're trying to accomplish. And I look at it from time to time and I go, how is it that we want the pendulum to swing? How is it that we want to have a paradigm change, but we still want to use some of the old factors into it? And that is where we always run into the same issue, where when you tie into numbers, money, bonus structures into safety, you're really going to have a hard time trying to implement some of the things. And it's not me being a jerk talking about this, but it's the reality of the situation. Anytime that you tie in a bonus structure into safety, what is going to happen first is that structure of the bonus, the person that is making the money, is going to look at that as the most important aspect. Let's be realistic. At the end of the day, you work to make money. I will say 95% of people fall into that category. That is the sole purpose behind it. And companies are in business to make money. So I understand this. But when you tie in that bonus structure and do these things, it becomes a cluster. And listen, I'm not preaching here. I'm just saying the reality of the situation. It goes back to that old mentality of having that board. We've been 2,000 days without an incident inside of our workplace. If you make it 2,020 days, you're going to get a bonus of X. Are you going to be the person that reports that not everybody's going to get the bonus because something happened? Boils down to the same mentality there. So think about that. The next time your organization wants to roll out a program similar to this, or they're trying to rush something, are you willing to step up and say something of, maybe this is not the right way of us doing this?
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp-speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, well, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
Hello. Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' Best Life Insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system. The simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice, sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories. When safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation,
Learning teams turned into theater. Zero harm turned into optics. And feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected.
Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author J. Allen, Ph.D. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Okay, we are still hanging and banging here on the Rated R Safety Show. Currently 45 minutes past the top of the hour. This right here that you're taking a gander at, a little listen to, this is Hairpin. It's the name of the band. Coyote is the name of the song. Songs readily available on Pandora, Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube Music. There you go. Some opciones for you. Give it a little streamer-eamer action if you get a chance today. No doubt there. As we are hanging out, doing our stuff today. We would like to thank Hairpin for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse, no doubt about that. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and the people at To Write Love on Our Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now and that healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's To Write Love on Her Arms. Click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, you'll see information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. So there you go. Okay, let me tell you this one real quick before we start moving into some other stuff, because that's what we do around here. There are new beauty trends going around TikTok, and yep, it involves actual Sharpies. Influencers are using permanent markers, usually red or coral, as a DIY lip liner, and then layering gloss of lipstick on top of it. Commenters are loving the bold look at low cost, asking what shade of Sharpie was used, but not everyone sold. One TikToker admitted that my lips weren't burning; they were definitely dried out, and I could taste the chemicals. Dermatologist Dr. Brooke Jeffrey says the trend is risky. Sharpies contain chemicals like, he names two chemicals in there, also found in paint thinner and gasoline. The brand itself warns that against them using the item for your skin, but you gotta love when it's when you have to pick up your beauty supplies from your company's office supplies. So there you go. What else? The latest viral trend, freeze branding, has health experts seriously concerned, inspired by livestock making. It involves pressing and freezing metal brands cooled by liquid nitrogen onto the human skin to create a permanent design. Dermatologist Dr. Andrea Suarez, aka Dr. Dre on TikTok, is urging people not to try this, warning that you are not a horse. While it's relatively safe for animals, on humans it can cause full thickening burns that leads to serious infection like cellulitis, which can result in sepsis or even bone inflammation if untreated. But you have to admit, It's definitely on brand. You get it? Okay. I don't know if you have seen this, but if you see it, it's kind of a weird look when people do it. Believe me, if you want to take a look in regard to what's going on. I don't know if I would prefer a cold branding over a heat branding, and I just think the branding thing's kind of stupid anyways, but that's my opinion. And then some people are going to be like, aren't you full of tattoos? Well, yes, I have quite a few tattoos, which I always kind of sit back and laugh about when people used to tell me, you don't seem like the tattoo type, which I never understood what the hell that shit meant in the first place. But that's okay. Those things happen. Anyways, with that being said, let's talk about something a little bit more positive. Let's bring some John Smalls into our life and let him tell us about the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Larry. Theodore Roosevelt said, "Do what you can with what you have where you are." What great advice. I recently spoke with a young man who started a business. We were talking about ideas to help him grow this business. I'm excited to help him even more someday, but right now he's very much in a stage where he's not probably going to be on the radio yet. But I did give him some ideas for things he can do now. These are things that will also most likely help him grow to that next level. And then at that time, I'm excited to help with a fun radio campaign for my young friend. Don't be afraid to start small and work your way up to where you want to be.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. Even as we celebrate the joys of life, there's another part of us that grieves for those who suffer. It is this spiritual sorrow that is our rite of passage into ministry. Thus it was with Jesus, and his experience teaches us that it is not only possible to experience joy and sorrow simultaneously, but that it is mandatory if we are to live and minister as authentic human beings. Isaiah says, "He was a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering." Lord Jesus, teach us to live experiencing both joy and sorrow so we can be emotionally present in each ministry encounter. In your holy name we pray. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
The United Nations has issued an urgent warning about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Fuel shortages threaten to halt aid deliveries, risking the collapse of essential services.
Hospitals and water treatment facilities are on the brink of shutting down without immediate fuel supplies. The UN is calling for unrestricted access to deliver critical resources. Over 2 million people face severe shortages of food, water, and medical care. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Australia's Prime Minister confronted China's president over a naval exercise disrupting air traffic. The February drill in the Tasman Sea forced commercial flights to reroute.
The Chinese flotilla operated in international waters, but under a busy flight path. Canberra labelled the move provocative, raising tensions in the region. Diplomatic talks are ongoing to prevent future incidents. Chris Anderson reporting.
The U.S. Supreme Court has approved dismantling the Department of Education. The ruling allows President Trump to lay off 1,400 agency workers without congressional consent.
Critics warn the decision could disrupt federal education funding and student protections. 24 states and Washington, D.C. are suing over $7 billion in frozen education funds. The legal battle is expected to escalate in coming weeks. Lawrence Keller reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
The Trump administration has revoked bond hearings for immigrants entering through non-approved channels. Detentions could last months or years during removal proceedings.
The policy applies to recent arrivals and long-term undocumented residents alike. Immigration and Customs Enforcement will expand detention capacity to hold 100,000 people daily. Advocates report strained legal resources for detainees. Kyle Norris reporting.
A Consumer Financial Protection Bureau rule to remove medical debt from credit reports has been blocked. The decision impacts impacts 15 million Americans with medical debt on their records.
The ruling preserves credit score penalties for unpaid medical bills. Financial experts say this could limit access to loans and housing. Legal challenges to the ruling are already underway. Kevin Sanders reporting.
15 immigration judges were fired as the Trump administration ramps up enforcement. Congress allocated $3 billion to the Justice Department, partly to hire more judges.
The firings have sparked concerns about judicial backlogs in immigration courts. Case delays could extend detentions for thousands of immigrants. The administration has not commented on the dismissals. Liam White reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Pop quiz, hotshot. During a heat wave, what's more important, air conditioning or air guitar?
Is it air conditioning?
Air guitar. The answer is always air guitar.
Yep, always air guitar is the answer, no doubt about that, as we are talking. Anyways, let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Let's take a look around. Back in 2019, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years in a New York courtroom. Prior to the sentencing, the drug lord addressed the court saying in Spanish, "There was no justice here." He also complained about his living conditions in prison, calling them inhumane and torture. El Chapo was found guilty on 10 federal crimes against him, including engaging in continuing criminal enterprise, drug trafficking, and firearm charges in February. He is serving his time in the nation's most secure federal prison in Florence, Colorado. That happened back on this date in 2019. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, Billy Lord turns 33, Jeremiah 38, Tom Fletcher 40, Mike Vogel turns 46, Eric Winter 49, Luke Bryan 49, Jason Clark turns 56, Beth Littleford turns 57, Brian Trottler turns 69, Angel Maker turns 71, David Hasselhoff turns 73, and Camilla Parker turns 78 today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, I have some of those for you. It's National Lottery Day and National Emoji Day. So there's some options for you if you're taking a look there. If you need a rando for today, let me give you a random joke. One sign of maturity is realizing that your mom was right, but she could also have worked on her tone. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What corporate phrase are you sick and tired of hearing? Let's circle back on that. Synergy, unpack. At the end of the day, let's go ahead after the low-hanging fruit. Take your pick because they're all shitty. Anyways, if you need a question for the water cooler, try this. According to a study, if you do this, it will reduce the chance of having an argument with your spouse. What is it? Dim the lights. Okay. I guess that's one thing to do. I guess. I don't know. Sounds good to me. So there you go. Anyways, if you do not know or not aware, we are having a Conklin Conference 4 coming up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, September the 9th through the 11th. Would love to see you there. You'll have the opportunity to listen to good old Todd Conklin, Martha Acosta, Bob Edwards, Jennifer T. Long, Andrea Baker, Mark Yeston, and I will be there in a hosting capacity talking about the world of human organizational performance. If you're on the screen arena, you can scan the QR code to get more information. If you want to find out because you're listening on the audio medium, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.com and click on live events. If I can leave you for the deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this. It doesn't matter who you used to be. What matters is who you're becoming. Think about that. It'll take you places. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.